Hey welcome back to my channel. I'm trying to fix my little box. I don't want it too big. Okay, I'm gonna fix it right here. As y'all can see, a girl's at work. Okay, and it's currently New Year's Day. No, actually, no, it's not New Year's Day anymore. It's 12 in the morning, and my ass is at work. I got my coffee right here. Your girl got her coffee. Gotta have coffee. So I'm gonna be sipping on that. Also, I got this like new drink too. It's this like, I don't know if y'all gonna see it, but it's called kombucha or whatever. I'm trying it out. Anyway, that's beside the point. I saw this update for Kenneka Jenkins, and I was scrolling through YouTube, and I came across this lady. Her name is SHANTE Maria. Go subscribe to her channel. Go show her some love, like her video. I'm gonna be reacting to or just giving my thoughts on Kenneka Jenkins' more recent update. She did this video like in December, like 18, 19, I forget. But I just saw it today, and I wanted to get my thoughts on it. Now, for those of y'all who has been rocking with me since last year, when I started doing my own videos on Kenneka Jenkins, I have like over 30 videos on Kenneka Jenkins, and I have a whole playlist on her and her case and everything, because it caught my attention like it did like the rest of the world, because it was very odd to hear of a young woman going to a party and then ending up in a freezer, dead in a hotel. It was just like, and it was said that she had walked herself into the hotel freezer and died. It just caught the attention of the world. It was like, we've never heard anything like this ever happening, and it was so unfortunate, and I wish it didn't happen. But I did multiple videos explaining, what my own theories on the case, and so today I'm going to be seeing what this is their, I believe this is their attorney, family attorney, that he's representing the family, and he's speaking on their behalf. So, okay, so sometimes I might pause or something in a video, but that's because I have, certain things that I still gotta do. Even though I'm at work and nobody's here and it's just me, certain things I still gotta do. Anyway, apart from all of that. So this guy is representing the family. I want to hear what he has to say a year later. This is a year later, y'all. She passed away, I believe September last year. So this is over a year later. And from the title of the video, she says, Kenneka Jenkins update, finally justice. So we'll see. We'll see.
9th, 2017. Facts and circumstances regarding Kenneka's death are not entirely clear. That's primarily because there have been no adequate answers given for why or how Kenneka was not identified or found wandering in the Crown Plaza Hotel on the early morning hours of September 9th. Why and how, although video surveillance cameras clearly indicate that Kenneka was wandering into an area under construction that had a operating walk-in freezer and cooler, and why and how, in spite of the fact that Kenneka's family and friends were at the hotel from the moment she disappeared until the moment her body was found, almost a full day later, more than a full day later. Why this tragedy unfolded. Kenneka, as you know, came to the hotel as a guest in the early morning hours of September the 9th. She apparently apparently was intoxicated and wandered from the room and wandered throughout the hotel. Video surveillance at the hotel clearly shows Kenneka wandering throughout the hotel at approximately 3:30, and I'm not being exact. Video surveillance shows her entering a kitchen area that's under construction. That's the Murray Brothers Caddyshack restaurant that's now been open since that time. That kitchen, the door was unsecured. The walk-in freezer and refrigerator were obviously unlocked. And at some point, Kenneka walked into the freezer. The door closed behind her, and over a period of hours, she froze to death. What's very concerning is that we have evidence that at some point, because she was clearly on video surveillance, at some point that somebody secured the doors to the kitchen area and to the freezer compartment where she died. These photographs, first of all, show this is the construction site to the kitchen, and this was taken after her body was found, but there's clearly the ability to lock the entire kitchen off, and this was taken by a member of the family. However, what's most concerning also is that the freezer door has a lock on it. This is a lock that you can prevent somebody from the inside from getting out if it's pressed. And we believe that it's very possible that this door, for reasons that we cannot explain, without ever looking in the freezer, someone came and locked this freezer door so that Kenneka could not exit the door. Now, there have not been adequate answers that have been.
Okay. I'll let him talk for a minute. I just want to give my thoughts so far on how I feel about this. Okay, so he's showing us evidence of these doors. He's going over what we already know. If you followed the Kenneka Jenkins case from last year, you know this already. You know what the double doors look like. You know that it had a lock on it. You know this. And my take on it is they're probably going to write it off as what they've already, showed us a year ago. They showed us that they wrote it off as, she's just gonna, she just walked herself into a freezer and it was an accident. An unfortunate event that happened. And this is extremely rare. Like this doesn't happen. I want y'all to understand the rarity of the whole situation. The fact that someone can be so drunk and just walk themselves into a freezer. I went out of my way multiple times in like over 30 different videos to prove, that she did not walk into the freezer. I came down to the conclusion, and I might be completely wrong, we still don't know. But I came down to my own conclusion that she was unconscious before she hit the freezer. Before she even hit the freezer, she was unconscious. And basically what it come down to, how I came down to that is, when you see her walking in the hallways, all the cameras of her walking in the hallways, I came down to the conclusion that wasn't her. That wasn't her. I went out of my way. I went above and beyond to prove that it wasn't her. And I think I proved my case that it wasn't her. But when she hits the kitchen, I do believe that's her. It's confusing, but I've proved that not only is it not her walking the regular halls where, getting out of the elevator, walking the halls, because the whole being inebriated was very exaggerated. Like, it was very, very, very exaggerated to the point where it seemed like it was poor acting. And I'm not the only one that felt that way. A lot of people felt that way. Like, if you've never been drunk before, then you can't really relate. You really can't really speak on it too much. But I've been drunk before. Okay? I've been drunk before. I started drinking when I was 18. Actually 17 going on 18. And I used to get drunk. I mean, I've wound up on people's lawns in the morning. Like, and I wake up on people's lawns. Like, I did that a couple times. But no matter how drunk I was, I always knew what was going on. Even when I woke up on the line, I knew that I was on the line. I knew I had passed out on the line. I just didn't want to get up. So my thing is, I've been drunk out of my mind before, and never would I ever walk into a fucking freezer that's on and just walk up in there, because it was on. It was on. This is a restaurant and a hotel that was supposed to be under construction, and it was on. So they want us to believe that she walked all this way. First of all, she's so inebriated, right? She walked all this way. She walked out of the room. She walked into the elevator, went all the way down to the basement where the kitchen was, walked all the way through these hallways. You see multiple cameras of her in the hallways. She walked all the way through this kitchen. There's like 2 to 3 parts of this kitchen. They want us to believe that she walked up a whole flight of stairs into these double doors to some more parts of the kitchen and into this freezer. That's a lot of walking to be doing when you're drunk, first of all. Second of all, I feel like they went out of their way to cover this up. This has been a whole year, and they've done so much editing to these videos. They've held back a lot of footage, and there's over 40 cameras in that whole hotel. Yet, they only show like a few different angles of her. But there's 40 cameras in the hotel. There's a lot of shit that doesn't make sense, that hasn't been, like, it doesn't make sense. I just don't understand it. Let me turn my little stuff off, because I feel like I'm talking over my heater. I have a heater below and I have a heater above me, so like I only need one on. Anyway, I feel like they went out of their way to like edit the videos. Then they turned it in to the police. No, and I don't know. It just like, it got jumbled up. Like, all the editing, like, is not. It's definitely been edited. All the film, all the cameras, and all the stuff that show her is definitely been edited. It's definitely, there's no doubt about it. And they went out of their way to do it though. And there's so many videos on YouTube that shows all types of different, like, some of these YouTube videos are like BS, because some of these YouTubers, they know how to edit, and they edit their own footage their own way. And it's like you don't know who to believe. If the person the video that you're watching, you don't know if they edited themselves. You don't know that. Like, so it's a lot to this case, y'all. It's a lot to this case. I feel like he's not going to tell everything, and it really pisses me off. He's gonna hold back. Yeah, so I feel like he's just gonna hold back a lot of information, and partly that might be like the reasoning for that being he doesn't know everything. He's still a year late, even though it's been a year later, he still doesn't know everything, and I feel like I don't know. Let's just hear what he has to say. I don't know. Like, just, it's just sad because I know he's gonna write it off as like, okay, she walked into a freezer and, you know, they didn't look in the freezer because he already said they didn't look in the freezer, so they just locked it without looking in it, and then she just happened to be in the freezer, and then over a series of hours she dies. They're gonna write it off as that. I guarantee it, and that's just completely 100% bullshit. Bull. It's bull.
Provided by the Crown Plaza Hotel. We have the police report. We have what they've described to us as the video, and the most revealing place in the video is that we see Kenneka entering this kitchen that was under construction at 3:30. We know that the Crown Plaza and the security company knew that she was missing at that very time, that they were reporting to the family that they were doing their best to find her. All they had to do was look on the video, and they would see that Kenneka was wandering the hotel.
That's another thing, y'all. The Crown Plaza Hotel refused to look at the cameras. Now, I'm pretty sure they looked at the cameras. As y'all can see, I am security right now. And what am I doing? I'm going to show y'all what I'm doing. Hold up. I'm going to show y'all exactly what I'm doing. All of this right here, cameras. Camera 1, camera 2, camera 3. Hold on. Camera 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 cameras that I'm looking at right now. Y'all, I've been security for years, and all I've ever done is look at cameras. That's what I do. And for the security that night, he was doing a lot. He was taking out trash. He was pushing, what was he pushing? Those housekeeping carts. He was mopping floors. He was taking pillows and blankets up to people's rooms. You know, he was doing a lot for security. He was doing a lot to be just security. He was doing maintenance work. He was doing janitor work. He was doing housekeeping work. The Crown Plaza is not a small hotel. I worked at a small hotel that literally only had 100 rooms. I worked at a hotel that had 60 rooms. And I was security for both of them. And never have I ever, and being that small, you have to do multiple jobs. Which is why I'm bringing up the fact that of small hotels. When you work in a small hotel, they cross-train you. So you can do multiple things if people, quit or they like short on staff or whatever. So there was a point in time where I was working at a hotel with 60 rooms. And I was the front desk agent. I was, cleaning rooms myself, and I was security. But that was with 60 rooms. The Crown Plaza Hotel is like a 4 or 5 star hotel. That is a big hotel. You know what I mean? It's like the size of a Hyatt Regency hotel. And Hyatt Regency hotels have like 400, 500 rooms. So with plenty of staff to do their own, so every staff member does their own thing. You know what I mean? So I'm just wondering why this security guard was doing so much. And then why his uniform was completely different from the regular staff uniform, the regular security staff. Because that night, he had on a completely different uniform. The next day, the security for the people for the hotel the next day, the security was wearing a completely different uniform than that guy. There was one guy that literally had a fucking uniform that looked like a fucking Halloween costume. Like, imagine if it's Halloween and you want to be a security for Halloween. That's what the fucking uniform looked like. It looked like a Halloween costume. It didn't even look like a legit security guard like uniform. It didn't even look like it was legit. The motherfucker had a whistle, for fuck's sake. Like, he had a whistle. He had a lanyard with like his ID or whatever and a whistle. What the heck are you doing with a whistle? Like, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? What are you, a referee now? With a whistle. I was like, y'all are ridiculous. And then the next day, that dude flees the country. He literally told the police, in an interview with the police, that he was leaving the country. There's proof of that. It's all over the internet. And he did. He left the country. Why was he in such a hurry to leave the country? Yeah.
They would see that she had wandered into the kitchen. There is no explanation that we've received at this time why Crown Plaza, why the security company, and why the Caddyshack Murray Brothers restaurant didn't do anything for nearly a day and a half, and that her body supposedly lay there until it was allegedly discovered, I believe, at about 12:30 a.m. the next day. And by the way, then her body stayed there for nearly 5 hours while the family waited to find out what had happened to Kenneka. So we expect to get all that information during this pretrial discovery process. The complaint's been filed. The defendants have an opportunity now to answer the complaint, and we will get in due time a full incident reports filed by these defendants plus their insurance companies. We'll get the videotape. They say they've given it to us, but we want to make sure we have all of it. We will get all of their reports, and we'll be able to take the testimony of the security guards and all the Crown Plaza employees so that we fully understand why this tragedy occurred.
Now look, if they take this to trial and we get to see the security guards or whatever in interviews or whatever, because 9 times out of 10, if this goes to trial, they're gonna record all the security guards. I know what that motherfucker look like. I have him at least 20 out of 30 of my videos on my channel. I know what he looked like. It better be that same guy that was security that night. I don't want to see another security. Look, I don't know how many people was security that night, but I know there was one guy that just kept popping up, doing all types of shit. I saw this dude vacuuming. I saw this dude in one camera angle, he was vacuuming. One camera angle, he was dragging a long trash bag. One camera angle, he was pushing a cart. One camera angle, he had covers, sheets, or pillows in his hand, going in the elevator. One camera angle, he was at the front desk talking to the front desk agent. He was doing a lot. And I want to see that guy, okay? Because I know for certain that guy fled the country. He ain't here no more. He off in some other fucking country, wherever the fuck he from. Okay? He was a foreign guy. Like, he wasn't American. I know that much. I don't know what he was, but he wasn't American. I feel like he was hired for the job because a lot of people make this point, and I believe it. You know how when you have you're like a company, like you're a hotel, whether you're a hotel or you're some type of business, you'll hire temp agencies or whatever, and they'll have their temp people come in and you'll work through that. Like the security company was probably like a temp, to hire or whatever for the hotel. Probably, most likely. Because hotels do hire temp, but when it comes to security, the hotel has their own security staff. They only get temp agencies for when it's like a housekeeping or like janitor or maintenance. Any of those three, they'll get a temp they'll hire a temp business company to come in and do the shit for them. But when it comes to security for their own personal hotel, they will get their own staff. The hotel will hire go through their hiring process for them. You know, they won't have to go through a temp agency or anything like that. 9 times out of 10, that's how it goes. So the security guard, I don't want to hear that he was a temp to hire security. No, because they don't do that. They don't do that stuff. Unless, you know, it's like a contracted or something. Like my security company right now is contracted to do a business. But hotels don't do that. Businesses do that. Like businesses that are like national businesses, that are like world global businesses, something like that, they do that. But if it's a hotel in a city, like they're gonna just get their own staff. They're not gonna go through a whole, you know, other company for security. They just get their own staff for that. Look, this is coming from someone who's been security for over 5 years, bro. I think I know a little bit of what I'm talking about. So I want to see that. My point is, I want to see that guy. I want to see that guy. I don't want to see no other guys, because I don't want to hear from no other guys about what happened that night, because I didn't see no other. I don't know about y'all that follow the case, but like I said, I followed this case last year like religiously, and I didn't see no other staff that was security. I just kept seeing the same damn guy. All right, so I don't want to hear from anybody else. I want to hear from that guy. So go find out wherever the hell, you know, country he flew to, and get him back to tell his side of the story. Because I want to know. I want to know why he was dragging trash bags. I want to know why he was vacuuming, why he was pushing carts, why he had pillows and sheets at one point. What was he saying to the front desk agent? I want to know all this shit. This is what I want to know, and I want to hear from that guy. I know exactly what he looked like, bro. I ain't trying to hear from nobody else.
And how it can be prevented. What's most concerning about this case right now from our perspective is the Crown Plaza knew immediately, not many hours later, immediately. She was reported by her friends, and then her family, and her family was there in the Crown Plaza on at least 3 occasions, camping out, to the point where the Crown Plaza called the police on the family, because the family was so concerned about Kenneka's whereabouts. Why, under these circumstances, when Kenneka is clearly visible on security cameras?
Okay, well, see, that's what I was trying to say. I just like strayed away from it. Like I said, I'm security. I look at cameras. This guy was security. He should have been looking at cameras. I'm pretty sure he was looking at the cameras. He was watching. The Crown Plaza, I looked at a whole layout. It's on the internet if you want to know the whole layout of Crown Plaza. I've seen the whole layout of this hotel, from top to bottom, inside and out. Okay, I know every nook and cranny of this hotel. Every secret door, every little area of this hotel, I know it. And I haven't even stepped foot in it. I'm nowhere near Chicago right now. Alright? Look, I know this hotel like the back of my damn hand. I've been reviewing this shit for over a year. I might not have been doing videos on it, but I ain't forgot. Obviously, I have not forgotten. You know what I mean? And anybody that ever wanted true justice for Kenneka has not forgotten it. They might have stopped talking about her on their channel, you know, and stop, you know, whatever. But I still get comments daily. I get comments daily on my past videos of Kenneka Jenkins, because no one is forgotten. So, and I still respond to those comments too. I respond to everybody that comments. Everybody. I like and put hearts, and I comment on everybody. You know, so the thing is, I know this hotel. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say. And I know that there is a area in the hotel for security where you can look at the cameras. Every hotel has part. Every 4-star, 5-star, don't matter, has a area where you can look at cameras. Everywhere. Even the hotel where it only has 60 rooms that I was hired, where I was working, has a room where you can see cameras. So this guy he knew where she was. He saw her on camera. Because you'll see her a little bit, and then shortly after, you see that security guard. It was eerie. Like, just imagine you're walking, and then like a little while later, security is right behind you. You go down a hallway, a little while later, after you left that hallway, the security is right behind you. You go to the bathroom, the security is right past that bathroom not too later. And then he was basically following her around. He knew where she was. That's why I want to hear from this guy. He's on camera following her around the fucking hotel. Ain't no way he did not know that she was in that area. They seen the camera. I know they did. If nobody else, security saw it. If the people at the front desk or any other, employee at Crown Plaza, if nothing else, the managers and security saw those cameras before the police did, before her parents did, before her family did. Like, they saw it. Why they never released it to the police, or like they were waiting for the police to release it to them. They were waiting for them. But her mom came in there demanding to see the cameras. And you're not gonna get what you want if you're demanding. When you're raising your voice and carrying on. The hotel still has procedures that they have to follow. You know what I mean? This is a tragedy. Yes, and it was very important. You know what I mean? That like they needed to see the cameras. And it's very eerie to me that the security knew where she was because he would trail after her. He knew where she was. And the management had to see the cameras too before anybody else. So it's very crazy that they knew this. So for him to say without looking in the freezer that they locked this door, they didn't have to look in the freezer. They saw her going towards that area and they locked it. They saw her on the cameras and they locked it. So they saw her going in that area and they was like, okay, yeah, she's supposed to be in this area. They went down there and according to him, they didn't even look in the freezer. But they knew she was in that area. Why would they not look in the freezer? If you have a business, right? And someone is on the camera, you see somebody on the camera that ain't supposed to be that's in an area they ain't supposed to be in. Like if I was to see on this camera right now, someone walking in an area where they're not supposed to be in and nobody is here, I'm gonna report it. I'm gonna let my people know that, hey, heads up, there's somebody walking in this area, camera 5, and then they'll say the location. It says camera 5 and then the location of where it's at. And then I'll let my people know and they'll go drive to that area. You're telling me that the manager couldn't see, that saw her on the camera, oh, she's in the kitchen area. I need security, radio over and say, hey, I have a lady, she's in the kitchen that's under construction, can you go check it out? How hard is that? You're fucking security, bro. That's your job. But no, you're too busy fucking taking trash out and fucking taking pillows up to guests when that's the hotel housekeeper and janitor job. That hotel was so trash. Like, look, you couldn't pay me to stay in that damn hotel. No. So that's all they had to do. And then when the security go down there, you're supposed to check areas, every area, bro. Why would you check the freezer? If you see someone in there, I be checking everything. I be checking under tables, I be checking and, opening doors. You know what I mean? Like, why would you not think to, like, it's an area that can, supposed to be closed off, but it's not. It's a freezer that's supposed to be off, but it's on. Shit's not making sense.
Walking into an area where she was eventually at this point. That's a mystery that will unfold during the processes. It'll generally take several years to resolve this case. And,
Several
I
years?
appreciate it. If you've got any questions, I'll be free to answer them. And Teresa will be available to answer just briefly any questions you have.
He said it's going to take several years. It's already been a year. You know, there's people out there that don't believe she's dead, that believes that this was some type of hoax or something. But, like, I don't believe that. I'm not one of those people because Kenneka Jenkins, like, why would this be a hoax? She wasn't a celebrity, you know what I mean? She was a regular person, a regular 19-year-old girl, you know what I mean, that didn't deserve for this to happen to her. And I don't care what nobody say at this point. Like, I didn't care a year ago, and I don't care now. I don't believe she walked into that freezer. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. There's no evidence that shows her walking into this freezer. There's no evidence. Show me some receipts that show her walking into this freezer. Then I'll believe it. They couldn't even... Look, bro, they could even hired a fucking actor that looks like Kenneka, right? And had a camera, like, right by the freezer, like right above the freezer, so we could see the angles of the freezer. Like, you see people going in and out, whatever, working, whatever. But there was nobody supposed to be in that area, so there was nobody, scratch that. There was nobody supposed to be working in that area. So we would only see her walking in. That would be the only thing that we would see on the camera, her walking in, and then the manager unlocking the door because the manager went back to that area by himself with keys in his hand, unlocked the freezer, then came back and then left, came back with a police officer, and then they went in that area together and discovered her. So I never understood why the manager of the hotel went to the area without the police officer by himself to begin with. He went there by himself. Why did you do that? Because he wanted to unlock the freezer first. Because had he had one back there with the police officer would see that it was locked. Like, oh, why is this locked? It's not supposed to be locked. What's going on? I don't know.
Mr. Fire, can you explain that mechanism on the freezer again? Sure. This is right here is a lock. It can be pressed down and it can secure the door, preventing anybody from the inside from exiting. It would effectively lock this door. And we believe that that door may have been locked from the outside because there's no other explanation why her body wasn't discovered. It's very possible that...
Also, the way her body was positioned in that freezer doesn't make sense to me. She had one shoe off. There was multiple things around her, like multiple like pieces of stuff. People seem to think that it was trash bag pieces. It could be that. It could have been trash bag pieces. It could have been stuff that was already in the freezer. But one thing that stood out to me was the fact that there was 2 lip glosses in the freezer with Kenneka Jenkins. 2 lip glosses. And I know y'all thinking like, lip gloss? What is that? Why does that even matter, lip gloss? The little things. The little minor things be the things that people just go over people's head. No one would think about those, care to even think about those lip glosses. But I'm one of those ones that did. And I'm going to tell you why. There was a picture that was surfing around the internet of Monifa and Kenneka. In this picture, you clearly see Monifa with a lip gloss. I don't know, I forget what color it was. It was like clear or whatever. It was one color. And Kenneka had the same brand lip gloss. That was another color. And when they found Kenneka, both lip glosses was in that freezer with her. Both lip glosses, her shoe was off. She didn't have no socks on. And there was a bits and pieces of stuff of black stuff around her body. And the way her body was positioned didn't make sense to me. And I went back to the lip glosses. I was like, okay, what's up with these lip glosses? And then I saw that picture. And I was like, why is Monifa's lip gloss in the freezer with Kenneka? Why is Monifa's lip gloss in the freezer where Kenneka was found dead? And I came to the conclusion in one of my videos. I said, okay, Monifa tells the story of them going back and getting Kenneka Jenkins, going back into the room and getting, because Kenneka was ready to go. Okay, Kenneka's at this party. She's been there. You know, she's wanting to go. She want to go. She's been there for a while. She had a little to drink, and she want to go home. She wasn't even supposed to be at this party, y'all. She was supposed to be with her real friends at like bowling or movies or something. No, she told her mom she was going to the movies, but they were going to go somewhere else, and they ended up going to this party, right? And so she went to the party for a little bit because she wanted to support these people for whatever reason. It was one of those things where you have friends that are jealous that you have other friends, and they're like, you're always hanging around your friends. These people, you don't like us anymore. You don't support us. So to support them, she went to this party. And she was there for a little bit. She just wanted to be there long enough to show her face, show that she cared, and then she wanted to bounce up out of there, right? That's what she was going to do. There's text messages that show that she was ready to go after a certain time. Not too long from the time that she entered the hotel and went to the party. So she's ready to go. They're like, okay, let's go. You know, they're all in the lobby or whatever. And Monifa tells the story that, okay, yeah, she's in the lobby, but Kenneka had a little bit to drink, and, you know, she realizes that her keys and her cell phone is still in the room. So Monifa and Shamaya it was Monifa and Shamaya, they go, or what's the other girl's name? I forgot the other girl's name already. But it's been a year, y'all. I don't remember these people's names. But I remember Shamaya because I did a whole video just speaking on her ass. But I still get comments on it and everything. It's crazy. But they tell the story, okay, they went back to the room to get the keys and the phone. Why it took both of them to go get this is beyond me. Monifa herself could have just said, okay, let me just go run up there real quick and get your keys and stuff. So, or it could have all went together. You know what I mean? Because, first of all, if it's me and then Kenneka, if I'm one of Kenneka's friends, and then, you know, Shamaya's the other friend, and then Kenneka's just here and she's talking about she left her stuff, I would say, Shamaya, do you want to go get it? Or I can go get it? But it don't take two people to go get this shit. It don't. So they both leave. Apparently, they both leave Kenneka in a lobby by herself, you know, inebriated and everything. And so they go to the room. They have the keys. They have the phone, supposedly, allegedly. And then they come back to find that she's gone. So they're over here searching the hotel for her, which you do see Shamaya and Monifa like searching the hotel for her. You do see that. And I think that's just, you know, so they'd have a alibi, like, oh yeah, we were, you know, we ain't do nothing foul or anything. You know, we weren't involved in anything. We were just really looking for our friend. We were just really looking for our friend. You know, it was one of those things where they just want to be on camera seeing, like, you see, oh yeah, you see them on camera. They're looking for her. You know what I mean? A lot of people believe that bull. Like, oh, they weren't involved in nothing. They didn't turn their backs on Kenneka. They were looking for her. That's what they want you to think. That's what they want you to think. So they have something to say to her mom, and then the police wouldn't question them so much because, like, where were you guys at when she was disappearing? Oh, we were looking for her. Here's what I've already done videos on this already, but here's how I debunk that bull. Okay? The phone was always with Kenneka. Like, keep your mind open. Like, have an open mind with this, okay? The phone was always with Kenneka Jenkins. Think about it. Would you ever hand your phone over to anybody to watch? Like, oh, can you just have my keys, have my phone? I would never hand over my phone to anybody. And it was said that she handed over her phone to a friend at the party. And her keys. She gave her keys to Monifa or Shamaya or somebody. And then she gave her phone over. I would never do that. And that's me personally. But I don't believe that Kenneka did it either. I think she had her phone on her the entire time. And then until she got to that freezer. Then when she got to that freezer, I feel like if nobody else knew, if none of her other friends knew that she was in that freezer, Monifa knew. Monifa knew that she was in the freezer, and I'm going to tell you why. Because to have this story that she went back to get the keys and Monifa's keys and her phone, Monifa had to get the phone. Now, if Kenneka has the phone on her, Monifa had to get the phone. So she went in that freezer and dropped her lip gloss and got that phone. And they went out of their way. I don't know the details. I can't remember the details, but one of her friends had a friend that worked at the hotel who had access to computers and shit like that. So is it so far-fetched to believe that they had access to the cameras? That they could edit within that hotel? And what took them so long to hand over the footage is because they were busy editing. It took them a long-ass time to hand over the footage. I believe they didn't hand over the footage of any cameras the rest of that September and October. It took them weeks to hand over the camera footage. So that whole time, they could have been editing the videos. Which is why Crown Plaza Hotel was not cooperating. I don't know what friend it was, but they had friends and connections within that hotel. Okay, there's a lot of stuff that I know that this guy is he's not going to bring it up. And that is what really pisses me off. Because there's so much stuff about this hotel. There's so much stuff that revolving around her friends that he's not going to bring up. He's not going to bring it up at all. It's not going to be brought up at all in the trial or case or anything. It's one big cover-up, y'all. It's one big cover-up. All this stuff that I'm saying has been proven. It's on multiple videos. I have it on my own channel and my own videos. I might even leak a bunch of videos that I've done on her. I have a whole playlist. You go on my channel, look at the playlist on my channel. A whole playlist for y'all convenience. I'm telling you guys. It's the one big cover-up. One big cover-up. I feel like they edit the videos to where when she, like, right before she hits that freezer, she had her phone with her. She had her phone with her. Monifa needed she needed the phone to tell her mom something, to give her a story, right? So she only had the keys. She needed the phone. So she went back in that freezer, dropped her lip gloss, and got that phone out of her back pocket. There was a phone print in her back pocket as she was walking. That's why I think that the part where her walking toward the freezer and then you never see her again after that is Kenneka because of the phone print. And, you know, from the difference between that, her walking to the freezer and her walking in the hallways, there's a difference there. There's a difference. You just have to be a very detailed person. You have to be like very like aware and this like you have to really look and side to side from the person walking in the hallways to the person walking in the kitchen. You'll see there's a difference between both people. There is a difference. Even though we only really see her backside, you know, when she hits the freezer part, there's still a difference, y'all. Y'all really just have to pay attention. Really have to pay attention. And I focused on her back pockets because I know I saw a phone print as if she just stuck her phone in her back pocket. That's what it looked like. But it also looked like somebody tried to edit it out. Like try to blur over it. Because they wanted to make us believe that she didn't have her phone on her. That her phone was in that hotel room. It wasn't on her. It was on her the whole time. It makes sense. It makes sense because if it was on her the whole time and she ends up in there and Monifa knows someone that works there, she has access to that area. She'd have access to that area, access to that freezer where she walked in, you know, and go right to her, get the phone out of her pocket, and then she just happened to drop her lip gloss in there. That makes more sense because, like, why would the lip gloss be there in the first place? It was Monifa's.